Hey everybody, it's Cyborg, and I am joined by Temp for the Injustice comic book series review. And we are on year 5, issue number 8 today. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend. We appreciate it. We love you guys. You mean so much to us. Happy Valentine's Day. Just kidding. Okay. I don't know why I even said that. This is dumb.
It is March.
Yeah. Almost April at this point. But, okay. So anyways, almost April. By the time this airs, it will be April.
Secret's out. They know when we're recorded.
Oh, God. Coming for us. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we start off in the Hall of Justice, and Cyborg is talking to Superman. And they kind of go over potential prospects for the regime, the criminals that they've captured, and ones that could be of use for them until they get the green pills up and running again. Amongst these 9, Cyborg mentions, on the screen we have Doomsday, which would be fantastic if he just teamed with Superman, because, you know, he lives to kill him, as he stated over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
He was very explicit about that detail.
It was very subtle when he mentioned it, so I don't think they got the message. Then we have Giganta, Girder, Killer Croc, King Shark, Man-Bat, Multiplex, Plastique, and Sir Solomon Grundy. Once he grows his head back, I wonder when he grows his head back, is it like Deadpool where he has like the really tiny hand? Like he's just a little tiny head. It's like Beetlejuice with that little tiny shrunken head. Creepy.
Or maybe it's one stage at a time, so for a while he's just a jaw, and then it just kind of works its way up.
Dear God.
Just like a tongue waggling.
Oh, God. Poor Grundy.
Oh,
I mean, no wonder the guy's a villain and he's pissed off all the time. Regrowing limbs, it's not fun.
No, it sounds very tedious.
Yes. So, Cyborg then mentions that there is a group calling themselves the Joker, and they are an activist group, and Superman wants Cyborg to find them because he is not a fan of an activist group that goes by the name of the Joker, which is understandable. I mean, you can't really blame him for that one.
It's reasonable, yeah.
That's kind of a bad call on their part. But then we cut to the Wayne Manor. Alfred is talking to Bruce over an iPad or some
tablet of some sort.
Yeah, a tablet of sorts. And Bruce asks what's for dinner, and they kind of go back and forth, and Bruce thanks him for the cookies that he sent him. He's showing an empty canister of them. They talk about Damian and his recent run-in with him. They kind of go back and forth, and then Bruce tells him send more cookies. I like that part. That was my favorite, is send more cookies. And, yeah, Bruce is left thinking in the Antonio Banderas type pose, where he's just like, cookies, more cookies, more cookies next time.
Still thinking about those cookies, just the dream of more cookies. It's great.
Wants more cookies, and I gotta say, the Alfred and Bruce stuff ends here, but as soon as they cut to Alfred talking to Bruce over a tablet, I'm like, dear God, Alfred is gonna get destroyed. Like, I was just, he even makes mention that Bruce is like 4,000 miles away, and I'm like, this is it for him, isn't it?
It would be horrible because we're seeing that Batman's watching Alfred through like a million monitors, right?
I thought you were gonna say it would be horrible because he's not gonna get any more cookies. There's no more cookies to be had when he dies.
I just thought it'd be horrible if Alfred just talking, all the monitors turn red in the fucking pseudo Batcave, and just, oh my God, what is going on? Where are the cookies?
Yeah. So, anyways, then we cut to Gotham, where a message comes over the TV where Superman is basically telling any activist group that, you know, he will find them and that he doesn't care about their rights. They need to get over it, and he's not going to let that go. He's not going to let that happen. And the activist group, they're not okay with that, and so then we cut to the Underground Joker, is what they call themselves, or the Joker Underground, and they're having their meeting, over 200 strong in this particular chapter of it, this particular meeting of it, this group, this pairing in this location, I should say. They have a bunch of guns and weapons and ammunition being stocked up as they are giving this meeting. Meanwhile, Batwoman crashes through the window sealing. This happens all the time, seemingly. Damien does it, now she's doing it. Like, it's not a good time to be a window.
No, not a ceiling window especially.
Yeah, those are 10 times more likely to be busted. So Batwoman just basically tries to talk sense into him and saying it's completely unacceptable to be calling yourselves or naming yourselves after the Joker. He killed millions and Superman's family. He's fine with their cause. He doesn't think the naming is okay and that they're really just, that's poor taste and it's not going to lead to anything good. So he tries to explain to them this fact. Then he calls out Harley Quinn. Like, she's just like, Harley Quinn! She just points her out in the middle of the crowd, and then Harley just like flips out like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I didn't say I was okay with it. Her hat goes flying, and then noticeably in the next panel, it's just over a guy's face. Like, her hat is just resting on some guy's head. Like, not like on his head, like nicely, just over his face.
Yeah, like he's like leaning back, and his whole face is just concealed. It's great.
And then, yeah, they kind of have a back and forth. She's trying to take Harley out of there, and they say, no, you can't have her. And that's where we leave that chapter. Then we cut back a flashback to 2 days ago in Gotham. And Batwoman is in Catwoman's apartment in the sky. A deluxe apartment in the sky. And Catwoman explains that, she's no longer with the insurgency. And she quits right there on the spot. No, I'm just kidding. She has Batwoman call Bruce.
She can't do this anymore.
Yes. Okay, but no, she does explain why she quit to Batwoman and that she doesn't want to be around when people die, like, because eventually it's going to lead to either Bruce or Superman and all of that, and she doesn't want any part of this. She wants to just do her own thing here, and she can take care of herself. She doesn't care if she's putting people at risk, because she doesn't want them to risk their lives for her. If she gets captured, then just let her be. I mean, she just wants to do her own thing. So, because Batwoman was trying to spin it like you're putting us all in danger by being out here, they can use you against us, but she wasn't having any of that. So, and Catwoman says, yeah, if there's a bunch of civilians calling themselves the Joker Underground and they're gonna try and take on the regime, that's on them. They're stupid for doing that and they deserve what they get. And then she tells her to let herself out and she jumps off and splats right on the pavement about 13 stories down. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we don't know for sure. But we can't say one way or the other.
There's no visual confirmation.
No, not at all. And it's definitely probably more than 13 stories. But yeah, then we cut back to the Revolutionary War. And Harley seems conflicted, but Batwoman starts flying. She's grown up. Kate, Batwoman, whatever, starts fighting them all off. And once again, it calls out the leader and explains to him what's going on. Harley agrees with her, and she backs her up and says, yeah, Joker was awful, take it from me. Or you should play a new card. And they say the group is interested in working with the insurgency, and if they can make that happen. But yeah, Batwoman just explains, yeah, be smart about it, change the name, change the way you're going about this, and yeah. Then they kind of walk out and leave it at that. Cyborg tells Superman that they found him. Do you want us to reroute Hawkgirl because she's the closest? And Superman says, no, I'll deal with it myself. And man, does he have a look of just pure, I'm going to mess things up right now.
Yeah, the iris is glowing pink. Yeah. It's brutal looking. It looks good.
He's either got a bad case of the pink eye or he's upset. But yeah, so like I said, we see Harley and Batwoman finish talking to them. They walk out, and then after they leave, like right away after they leave, Superman just comes crashing through another window in the ceiling. Like this,
you could have gone to the one that was already broken, but clearly.
Yep. So he just busts more windows because why not? They all do what's just naturally intelligent to do and just start chanting Joker at him. And that's just like, I mean, they're asking for it at this point. And they all just start saying, you can't do this to us, we have our rights, this is within the law, blah blah blah, we're not going to listen to the authority of a tyrant. And then Joker. Yeah, okay. Probably not the best idea. He tells him to shut up, and then we see Harley and Batwoman taking off on the bike, and they look back in the rearview mirror, and it's just the building is on fire, spewing out from the top of it, fumes of it, and then we cut to back in it, and everyone is running on fire, burning as he's heat visioning everything and everyone. Holy crap.
Oh,
that's
like
a powerful
all the hair is
visual.
burnt off and shit. Oh yeah, it's
that
bad.
guy is
it's
running,
really
screaming. It is brutal. Batwoman and Harley come back in just as Superman's leaving, and they just see the leader's glasses laying on the ground and everything in flames, and they both just look shocked and sad that all happened.
Yeah, what's extra brutal about it is Superman, it's perfectly within his capabilities to just turn everyone into skeletons instantly, but they're all still very much alive and running around and squirming. It's just brutal. It's crazy looking.
Yeah, he definitely wanted them to suffer, and... Ugh. Yeesh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then it is worth noting that, yeah, the art in this issue is actually pretty good, too. There's a lot of good panels in here with a lot of good shots. Like, the way, the final shot's really good where you see the glasses laying on the ground with one of the lenses broken, and you see the silhouettes of Harley and Batwoman entering the exit door to come back in and see all the carnage. And, yeah, there's just a lot of good art. Batwoman especially looks really well drawn, and the color and everything in this is really well done.
Yeah, the lighting's fantastic. When it's at nighttime in Catwoman's condo, it looks like nighttime. Everything's just like blue and purples everywhere. And when they're inside the auditorium, it's like dark, but with like projector lighting, it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, just fantastic coloring, fantastic drawing, line work, and everything. So kudos to this artist. And overall, not the best issue. I mean, it's not as good as the previous two issues, but it was reasonably good. And I think mainly that was held up by the finish. Like the end of it, the climax of it was definitely a good payoff, I could say. I mean, it sucks that it happened to those people and disturbing, but it was a good payoff to see what happened of this group that we saw a bit of earlier on with Harley taking part in there as well. And she was supposedly just there to spy on them and see if they were serious about it. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see what happened with that group. But I thought Batwoman was going to die or something like that.
So. Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, okay, so this is why we don't see Batwoman later. This makes sense. But no, she lives another day. Yep. She hangs in there.
So she's hanging in there. I think she'd make a good premiere skin for Batman. I mean, if she doesn't get her own character slot eventually, like through DLC or something, I think she's done enough. And here's my reasoning. She's been a part of this Injustice series, and she's played a pretty prominent role at some point, so... Do they take it based on fandom? It's almost weird,
yes.
It's like with the roster, I wonder how much they take the comic into consideration. Because obviously the first game came out with only like 5 issues being made, like before the game came out. So year 2, 3, 4, and 5 weren't even in consideration when the game was, at that point. So yeah, I wonder how much they take the comic into consideration in terms of characters to include. Because obviously we're getting Green Arrow from the alternate universe. We know for sure now in Injustice 2 that it's the Green Arrow that Dr. Fate takes Black Canary to. So, I mean, that could obviously just be an excuse for them to use Green Arrow again, which it probably is. But, yeah, I'm just curious, like, why someone like a Batwoman who played a pretty prominent role in the insurgency is not... I mean, granted, there's still year 5 left to go, so she could die, and then thus not really necessary to bring to year 2. But at the same time, I kind of feel like she deserves it. Like, I'm not, like, huge on Batwoman as a character. I don't have, like, a huge fan base on her. My wife has read some of her comics and really likes her, but yeah, I just... I feel like
I didn't really know anything about her to these comics. This is my first real exposure to modern Batwoman.
Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know if she deserves her own character slot, or you could just make her a premiere skin and have it work. I mean, she obviously does a lot of the same type of stuff that Batman does. Does the female male model work? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell with those kind of things because we still don't have that answer, but. At the very least, yeah, I would like to see her someday. I mean, there's a lot of characters I'd prefer over her, of course. I mean, she wouldn't make my 9 characters. But in terms of if she did make it, I don't think I'd be that, like, offended by it because she's played a prominent role in the comics. And to me, that's as good a reason as any if you're going to play up the storylines of these characters. So
yeah, but if I did like top 5 requested premiere skins, she would be on there for sure.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Premiere skins completely fair game in terms of a lot of these characters that are in the comics that maybe aren't as high in fan demand. I'd definitely like if we could get one of her on a premiere skin for Batman that's Batwoman. I would sign me up for that. Absolutely. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of her, but this type of comic and this type of series is making me more of a fan of the character. Much like, not to the extent of Black Canary. Black Canary definitely sold me, but I'm starting to have a little bit of liking towards Batwoman. She's doing some cool things.
She's earned her spot for sure. Like, she's put in the work. My gosh.
Yeah, we're talking like this is a real person that's putting in effort. But she's prominent enough to, for sure, be in it. So I think we're on the same page there. But yeah, that wraps up this issue, guys. Pray for Alfred. He's not out of the clear yet. I mean, I feel like they're still alluding to that. I mean...
Yeah.
But, yeah. And pray for Batwoman, because we don't know if she's going to make it either now that we have that discussion. But who knows? Maybe she just gets put out of commission for a while or something, and she's not dead. But either way, hopefully that's not the end for her. But we still have several issues to go. So this has been issue number 8. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time tomorrow for issue number 9. Take care.
Take care, everyone.